Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at my Kubota B2301 tractor. We're going to grease up all the grease spots that we need to do because we need to get that backhoe off and get the snowblower out, because as much as it's a glorious day, we only have a few days left, maybe a week or two, and then the snow is going to fly and we'll have to get the snowblower on. So stick around because we're going to have a look at greasing your tractor. Get her going, baby. Up a few minutes. Alright guys, let's get started, and I'm going to point out what we're going to be greasing today. So it's all these grease joints all over the tractor. I probably have about 30 of them on my tractor with the backhoe and then the shovel on the front. We want to grease all these grease spots to keep a good solid greasing between the joints of metal and metal. It's just going to protect it. It's not going to want to seize up or anything like that. The other thing that I would really suggest that you get yourself is a screwdriver. I like to kind of get in there and get out some of the mess that was created from dirt. And really the only reason why I'm doing this is just simply because I want to make sure that I get a good seal when I put the grease gun there, and that there's nothing stopping the grease from going in. That's really the only reason. But I'm going to go around and take out all these little grease spots, take out the dirt, and then we're going to get to greasing. Alright guys, so the next step that we're going to do is we're going to put on some gloves, because obviously we're working with grease, and I actually have dedicated gloves just for my grease gun. So today I'm going to be using a compressed air grease gun. It's a Lincoln. There are much better models obviously, and there's also handheld ones that you could do a pump action. We're going to use Total Grease. It's basically recommended by Kubota. I've been using it for a few years now. It works out well. You just pull out the opening, take off the cap. So that's what we're going to do actually. And then we just slide it right into the tube and then hook it onto the grease gun. So we're just going to take off that cap off the top, make sure we put any leftover grease lying around. Stand that up, and on my model I have to pull back and just cock it like that, and then we put the tube of grease right down, kind of sit it in there nicely, and reattach. Careful, you don't want to cross thread here. And put her on. Like I said, this is an air compressor grease gun. Just makes life a little bit quicker. I like it that way. Let's put that on there. So that's what I was talking about, the nipple that will go onto the tractor itself. So we're just going to pop that in and pull the trigger, and grease is going to go in. Okay guys, we got our grease gun set up. We got the attachment set up. We even got our compressor ready to go. So we're going to start greasing from the top. I like to start greasing from the top and then work my way down the machine. I'm not going to bore you with greasing all 30 spots of my tractor, but basically we attach it on. When you hear a little click, you know it's on, and you'll start seeing some grease coming out the back, and that's how you know the cylinder's full. So without further ado, let's get going. All right, next. Grease coming out. Want to do every spot, gotta find every one. Okay guys, I wanted to just point out this last nipple. So this is the greasing for the transmission, and a lot of guys forget it. As you can see with the new grease, I've already greased it. But there is this last nipple, if you guys can see it clearly. That one, a lot of people forget, but that's an important one too, because that keeps all of this greased up. This is not a nipple, but it keeps everything greased up and well. So I just wanted to point that out. All right guys, well before we close out this video, I usually do one last thing, just simply because I'm putting my backhoe away for the winter. So what I like to do is I like to go in with a paper towel and just kind of wipe up any little extra grease kicking around. I usually tarp the backhoe and put it in the garage, which you'll see on another video. But for the time being, because there's going to be a nice tarp on it, I really don't want all that grease getting on the tarp or lying around in case I have to move it in the winter. So I just kind of go to all my little fittings and take off any excess grease. Like you see here, I kind of overfilled it. I wasn't paying perfect attention, and just getting rid of that grease. You know, it helps because it doesn't get on anything. Just take a little bit of the overflow off, and that's it. So that's kind of the last step in greasing the tractor. All right, so that pretty much does it for today. Let's do a little quick recap on everything that we did today. We took the tractor out of the garage, as you saw. We went around and greased all the joints, made sure the crud was out before we started applying the grease. Then we went around and cleaned off any excess grease that we had lying around. And that's gonna pretty much do it. The big thing to remember is that pedal. A lot of people forget that pedal, and very important to do that pedal. So that's gonna do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel and drop me a like. We'll see you on the next one where we're taking off the backhoe.